Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Ahmaduhu wa asta'inuhu wa astadihi wa astaghfiruhu wa umminu bihi jalla wa ala wa la akfuruhu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Aslahu bil huda wa din al-haq liyadhiruhu ala din kulihi walau karihal mushrikun. All praise belongs to Allah. We praise Him. We seek His help, His assistance, and His guidance. We believe in Him and do not disbelieve in Him. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His servant and messenger. Allah sent him, that is Muhammad, with Deen al-Haq, the religion, the way, the methodology of truth. And this way of life known as Islam will rise to its proper position in this world, whether the mushriks like it or not. I would like to begin reading from As-Sabiqun, and this is a message from the Imam. This is October 2000, so we're a little over 20 years ago. And it starts with Surah 11, Ayat 88, and this is Shuaib said, O my people, see ye whether I have a clear sign from my Lord, and He hath given me sustenance pure and good, as from Himself. I wish not in opposition to you to do that which I forbid you to do. I only desire your betterment, that's Islah, improvement, to the best of my power, and my success in my task can only come from Allah. In Him I trust, and unto Him I look. This is Surah Hud, Ayat 88. The theme of our first national conference is Islah. The word Islah has several connotations, including improvement, betterment, correction, reconditioning, and cultivation. 5 years ago in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, members from Masjid al-Islam in Oakland, California, Masjid al-Islam in Washington, D.C., and Masjid al-Islam in Philadelphia came together to formally organize into an Islamic movement, hence the launch of As-Sabiqun. This week-long think tank process, we developed a mission statement, common goals, which would be supported and achieved by coordinated efforts, an overarching system or structure. We also outlined the minimum characteristics that would be necessary to participate in a functional, dynamic Islamic organization with the aim of establishing Islam firmly in or on the American continent. As we grew and expanded as a Jama'ah, each of us who have participated in this great mission have acquired a world of knowledge and practical experience. However, we still have quite a ways to go. Our task in the cause of Islam demand that we constantly advance to an ever higher quality of work and action in all areas of our lives, including the moral, ethical, spiritual, and physical dimensions of our being. Islam itself and our Islamic mission calls for a steady improvement, which will enable us to take full advantage of the right opportunities as they arise in our struggle to make the deen flourish and prosper. However, as we progress from one stage to another, we must also be sure to take into account the need for adjustment and correction. Of course, we believe that the anchor of As-Sabiqun in the Quran is in the Quran and Sunnah. But whenever there's movement in any direction, there's always the real possibility of drifting off course, which can become a major obstacle. This is why we as a community must reconvene from time to time to question ourselves. Where have we been? How have we adjusted? Have we handled ourselves in accord with our own expectations? And finally, are we still on the correct course in relation to our original intentions and calculations? All of these are necessary as we collectively engage in the process of Islah. Let us refocus on our mission and prepare ourselves to rise to a new level of cultivation and training in all of our endeavors. Let us realign ourselves with a shared purpose and vision. I'd like to go over this last paragraph. However, as we progress from one stage to another, we must also be sure to take into account the need for adjustment and correction. Adjustment and correction. Of course, we believe that the anchor of our As-Sabiqun is the Quran and Sunnah. But whenever there is movement in any direction, there is also the real possibility of drifting off course, which can become a major obstacle. This is very important. We know that our base is Quran and Sunnah. But if you remember in those days, this is 20 years ago, we're saying our base is the Quran and the Sunnah. Khalas, that's it. Then, now, we've also, which is automatic, as you grow and improve, we have included not only Quran and Sunnah, but travel in the earth and see what was the end of those before us. In other words, having confidence. See, we have the confidence now that we actually had it then, for sure, but it didn't rise to the occasion of adding it into our process. Quran, Sunnah, and studying the world, analyzing the world. You have to be aware of our analysis. See, 20 years ago, we had made the proper analysis in all occasions. But now, we've not only made the proper analysis in legal, social, political, ethical, and historical accounts, but we've actually been able to affect the system in which we live. We even said that we have learned how to manage, to manipulate, and also that we have risen to the occasion that we can, we've said that we've even domesticated the system. So that means we have the credibility within ourselves, within our organization, that we can now say that we can prove that we've made the right adjustment by how we have studied history, how we've aligned history with the present environment today, and how we put ourselves right in the middle of it. Remember, this is 20 years ago. You can tell that we're on the right road by what we've written right here. This is the message that we gave out to our first national meeting in 2000, 20 years ago. and then our experience. See, this stuff comes with your level, let's say, of leadership and confidence. Then, of course, right at this time, we were right in the middle of demonstrations, organizations, security on a local and national level. We was really what you might call, we were very active at that time. But we had not, on a national level, on those local things, if we're dealing with Iran and all those issues, we're already hitting the spot. 20 years before this, we told them that we're not going to vote, and this is what voting's going to do. It's going to have this effect and that effect. And we was correct on that. But you can see now, we have gained the confidence to say the Quran, the Sunnah, history, and our experience. See, so it's been over 5, 6 years, maybe even 10 years, that we have added in our experience. There's a certain time that you gain confidence and the hujjah, the proof that this is real. Our experience has a lot to do with what's going on here. Now, at that time, also, the subject today is Islamic revival. In those days, we were still going through the process of what we call Iqamatul Deen, establishing the deen. You know, Islamic revival is what immigrants overseas, that was Islamic revival, had been going on for a long time. You know, for let's say it had been really maxing out at about 60, 70 years at that time. If we start with Ikhwan al-Muslimin in Egypt in 1928. So Iqamatul Deen, like Iqama, to establish, you know, to establish the deen. So that's what our job was. We visualized our job here is Iqamatul Deen. So that's why 5 years before this, we met in Philadelphia and we established As-Sabiqun. We established As-Sabiqun, but also in establishing As-Sabiqun, we also had, we're now formalizing what we're doing. We've been doing it all along. I mean, from the first day, sometime we might do it. We might go over a whole 1980 writing and what we're doing at that time. All of it is similar to this, but this is a major improvement right here. No, not an improvement. Yeah, it's an improvement. It's a step up. But whenever there's movement in any direction, there's also a real possibility of drifting off course. That means that you don't just, oh, we're doing the right thing. Oh, we did that right. We're thinking this way, that right, da, 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 da. You're not taking any chances. That's what we're doing now. That's why tonight's discussion is Islamic revival. Why Islamic revival? You look all around here, you look in Oakland, you look at, okay, we getting rolling right here, and we often rolling. Bop, 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 we go through our stuff, and if some people believe that the worst thing can happen to a person or a group is to have instant success. You know, like you put out your first record and you sold 1 million or 5 million copies. You know, it's going to go to your head. But suppose you out there like the Temptations was. They made one record after another for a long time. And pretty soon, My Girl hit, and they was off and rolling. So they were used to, they had to study it. What are we doing here? You know, they made a few good, you know, Paradise and all that. He made a few good moves. But when they made My Girl, that came from Smokey Robinson studying their group. And now he's going to flip from one person to, okay, we're going to give this to David. He had a voice. You can't say that. He didn't have self-discipline or nothing like that, but he sure had a good voice. You know what I mean? For them, for that group. And their moves, their organization, and their discipline. People used to, because I was in the so-called gangster world, and they used to, my favorite record in those days, is still now it's important, was I Wish It Would Rain. So they said, how could a gangster be wishing it would rain? I said, are you crazy? You think I'm sitting at the window looking at teardrops on the doggone water on the wishing it would rain? I said, you crazy? I say, we're basing our movement, our organization at that time. So do you see how them niggas move? Right? Their unity, their harmony, their organization. That's what we're looking at, and nobody care nothing about. If you thinking I'm sad sitting at the window, I wish it would rain, you're crazy. You're literally, you don't understand. And I can understand how people may not understand. I said, you look at the way them boys move. See, because they was the first group that got out there like that. They was smooth. It was unity, harmony, everything. I said, that's the kind of organization. That's what I want y'all to look like in our organization. Harmony, unity, you know, and we based it on that. But now, so success is all what everybody is working toward. But whether it's instant or whether it's over the period of time, have a lot to do with our own personal growth and development. Like when you fail at things, or not fail, or when you don't reach your goal until a period of study and reflection, right? You evolve into your, into your success. That's the same thing with a movement. So we're rolling along. This is 20 years ago. This is October 2000. And this is the message from the Imam to the people. And we're concentrating on now, at that time, it was the Kamatul Deen, to establish the Deen. 5 years ago, or 5